everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL.
All right, Larry, it's one of the new jewels of the NFL, no doubt, as you get a look inside U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. Tonight, we'll have the final two games of this kickoff weekend, and we begin with a great one here between the New Orleans Saints. And he's up across the 25. Offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State, the former Spartan. It's Kirk Cousins.
I think he just gets better and better. He was third in the NFL in passing yardage in 2016. In fact, over the last two seasons, over 9,000 yards passing, the fourth most in the NFL.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Last year, New Orleans dead last, number 32 in passing defense. Something that was exploited game after game. You know, though, those guys are tired of hearing about it. Now they just want to fix it.
And you fix it with players playing better. We know that. But also you fix it with scheme. You look at what you have and say, can we play the style that we played in 2016? And you and I both know the New Orleans defensive staff, they like to be aggressive. They like to get after the quarterback, put their guys in a lot of man coverage. Maybe we'll play a little more zone in 2017 and take some of the pressure off of the back end of the defense.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Cameron Jordan able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ken Crowley, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And some big-time hitting going on there. He is knocked to the ground right on the 30-yard line. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Here's Breeze. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just stuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Ingram again. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. fourth-round guy, and many thought that's about where he would go. But I think he's got some upside, right?
He can come right in and be what they call a core special teams player, play on all 4 phases of it, and have a chance to work his way into the lineup. I think a year or 2 down the road, they could have a solid starter.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now a second down throw for Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
So we played a quarter here on the opening Monday night of the new season. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Here's Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Alex Okafor in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. 3rd and long for Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play for the Vikings on 3rd down. 56 yards.
Well, they just treated 3rd and long as simply an opportunity to make an even bigger play. Normally, you're just trying to pick up the first down and you know where the sticks are. They took this thing way downfield. Confidence in the receivers to go up and make a play, even with defenders around them.
Down. Murray works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill out the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Second down, Cousins. No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
22 is the line to gain here on third down. To throw, Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And his guys will take over.
Just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
You never know where motivation's going to come from. I remember in 2016, Mark Ingram fumbled in 2 consecutive games. He got benched in the second game, but bounced back to go over 1,000 yards for the season.
Yeah, first time in his 6 NFL years that he's done that, finished with 1,043. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it second and 12. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Now they'll throw with Breeze. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Anthony Barr in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A heck of a play there on third down, but amazingly, they're still short for fourth.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. Interesting stat line right now. Technically, he's completed 4 passes, 2 to his team and then 2 to the wrong team.
It makes you wonder what he's seeing downfield because he has completed 2 passes to his own team, but the interceptions are troubling. Is he going through the wrong reads, the wrong progressions? Is he getting fooled by defenses? They've got to figure that out over on the sidelines, working on that Surface Pro to see what they see. Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. And avoids the contact by sliding. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. First down. Here's Cousins. He's going to rifle one deep. He's got a man complete. And they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. They give him a gain of 38. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Alex Okafor in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Cousins now on second down. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. Cousins now. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Saints will have the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. So we reach halftime here. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. On second down, Ingram. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, it's Ingram. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball. It doesn't work running the ball. And then something pops, and now you get something going. I'm not so sure to just abandon your game plan this early in the second half.
On second down, here's Breeze. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. On the check down, he finds Kamara. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
If you're a selfish player, and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Room here to run. Latavius Murray. He's at the 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Latavius Murray, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Murray's got his first touchdown as a member of the Vikings, signed from Oakland, of course, as the replacement for Adrian Peterson. He had 12 touchdowns as a Raider a year ago.
I thought he had a nice run in Oakland. I mean, they relied on him to be their lead runner. Big shoes to fill now in Minnesota because of who he's replacing in that spot. But they realize what they've got. A guy who can run inside, outside, and catch the ball out of the backfield.
And because of who he's replacing in those big shoes to fill, is that daunting or is that a challenge that you want to accept?
I think it's a big challenge for him. And the way that they construct the offense, he'll have his opportunities to reach big numbers.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I got it.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Anthony Barr in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him, 15 big yards.
You and I both know that you don't really truly replace Adrian Peterson, but Latavius Murray's a really good back. Similar running styles, too. Won't wear the same number, we know that. But when you see him run, you might see a little bit of that in him, upright with some power.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They go back to Murray on first down. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Now Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. They give him a gain of 38.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
10th carry of the game now. Murray. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Here's the rookie from Florida State, Dalvin Cook, his first NFL carry. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
Third and short yardage, Cousins. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you'd love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front, but then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know that field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. On first down, Breeze. He goes underneath to Ingram. Ingram churning. He lost the football. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
It's like psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And now out comes Minnesota. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Throwing, Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. And the play clock becoming in. Issues, so Mike Zimmer's forced to call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 3rd down, Cousins. He's going to rifle one. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ken Crawley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful.
Got 2nd down. To throw, it's Breeze. They go screen. This is Ingram. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
The Saints on 3rd down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. From the gun, it's Breeze. He's got his man. It's Brandon Coleman. And down he'll go at the 25. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. Here's Sherrills, able to slither by. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And out now come the Vikings. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Decent start defensively to this series. They've got to stop them here and get this ball back.
I like the way you phrase that, partner. Decent start. But now it's got to be more about the ball. It's all about the ball. Getting it away from them, because making good tackles is one thing, but the clock will run out on you. You've got to have the football back for your offense. And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Cousins. And that is incomplete. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road, and everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He's trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
Caught on the left side by Ginn. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Fresh set of downs here. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on first down is Breeze. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed him. Instead, second down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
He dumps it down to Ingram. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. It's a gain of 6 on the play. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. The Saints on third down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a first down if he holds on, but you saw the contact, able to jar it free from him and force a 4th down.
Great play defensively there, as you said, just to knock it free, because if he had caught that, pass the sticks, first down. And Lutz's kick is good. And we are all tied here in the final stages. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
And our attention here turns to Latavius Murray. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense.
Murray fighting, lost the football. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
I'm fairly sure that there's no good time to cough up the football, but this couldn't be much worse, could it?
No.
This situation, this yard line, no chance.
They set it on a T-form. They're already in field goal range here late in the fourth now.
Yeah, warm up the kicker and just make sure they take care of the ball now. They've got a chance to put this thing away.
And some room to roam now. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Ingram again, a first down carry. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
To throw is Breeze. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Ted Ginn, his first touchdown in a Saints uniform. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. Now on the return, oh no, the ball is loose. And this is picked up by the Saints. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at the 3. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this. Stephon Diggs! And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Those are the Wusteds. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, Week 1. You had the flyover.